even say it out loud. And I'm a part of it. So I can't, like, I was gonna say it.
Why don't you give it a shot, okay?
This is your third episode of Pause the Podcast. This is me, Ryan Roman 98.
And I'm Ryan Roman's friend.
Sounds so pretentious. This is your podcast.
It's not mine.
All 100 views are from you. Or 97 of them.
Yeah, I actually am 100 of the views. You're right. And we have a guest today, a special guest.
Yeah. He's alright. It's not super, like, he's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm Matthew Riccardi again.
He doesn't sell nothing.
No, I just
doesn't promote nothing.
I feel like you're like really hiding your entire identity behind this hat.
behind the hat, bro.
And the glasses.
You think he's bald?
No.
No, it's just that your whole face is black.
Yeah. Is that better?
You have to
Or
like.
just put it backwards.
Put it backward.
Yeah.
I mean, unless that's not your thing.
Now it's like Squints from the Sandlot.
That's
So-
perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Matthew is a comedian that we've been hanging out with for the past like 2 hours, but we haven't let him talk.
Yeah.
We haven't let him
Well,
say
use
anything.
comedian like loosely.
Yeah, he's aspiring.
Yeah.
He's a loose comedian.
Not
Yeah.
very loose.
And then kind of came out. We brought him on, most importantly, because he asked.
Well, I was supposed to.
Because he paid us.
I was supposed to go on Youngins.
Yeah, he's supposed to go on other podcasts, and then he found out that, you know, what our podcast was about, and he was like, yo, I got some wild stories from my life I like to share on here. He also has OCD. He wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of these wild stories, or one wild story.
So we're.
Where do we want to start?
I want to start with your.
We can start with my dad. Yeah.
We start with your dad.
So when I was 9, my dad was arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So he was
I hear that.
no, it's whatever. He's out now. It's all good.
How long was he locked up?
8 years.
Okay.
So he got out last year. When I was 17.
Matthew was white, guys.
Yeah. So it was a shock to me when he got arrested.
Wow.
He's not white. He's Italian. He's Italian.
Wow, that's off white.
Yeah.
That's off white. Exactly. Exactly.
That's totally
Yeah.
white.
They still went through a struggle when they got here.
Yeah, bro. They were
They did.
discriminated against.
Very shortly.
Yeah.
Very shortly.
until the white settlers were like, hold on, he's
He kind of looked like us.
he's just one of us.
So your dad was locked up for it. What was the charge? Can you say it?
Yeah. No, he was So he was an addict, right? So
Yeah.
he got caught robbing some stores. Allegedly.
Like gunpoint. Did he have a gun on him?
No, knife point.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
He's throwback.
Yeah. So
Knife point.
knife point. Yeah, bro. So
How does that even work? I
I
feel
don't-
like that's not even that intimidating anymore.
yeah, no, I don't know, bro. Like I don't know. These people were.
He's a
scared.
great actor.
Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, no. So he got charged with like fucking 5. Well, can I curse on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 6 robberies, and the cops came to the house.
He's like, can I curse? Okay, cool. Fucking 5,
Fucking-
fucking 6, fucking robberies.
So the cops came to the house, and like I remember, like I was playing the Wii because that was back in the day when the Wii was like lit.
Popping.
When you were
I was
9?
9. Yeah, so it was the very beginning of 2010.
And how old are you now?
I'm 18.
So that's 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I was 14. That's crazy. That's. Whew. No, I was 13. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so I was playing the Wii, right? I was like, oh yeah, what's good? Whatever I was doing.
You on iCarly? Say, oh, what's good?
So, but then I look out the window, right, and I see my dad. He's like talking to a cop, and I was like, no biggie. And then like 5 minutes go by, and there's like fucking like 10 cop cars outside. I was like, oh shit. I was like, so he gets arrested. The cops come in, they check the house, they find like all this drug shit in the house.
You didn't know anything about the drugs?
No, I knew about the drugs,
Okay.
but like I didn't know like how bad it was.
What kind of drugs are we talking
So
about?
we're talking about like painkillers,
Oh.
so like opioids and like
Matthew's white. Guys.
cocaine. So like
Talk about.
the shit that took Mac, the shit that took Mac
Yeah.
Miller. Yeah, that's it.
Fentanyl?
It wasn't fentanyl, but it was like some type
it was
of
like a lace
opioids.
coke or
Yeah.
whatever. That's crazy. But
So and I used like for a long time, like I didn't like nobody really knew. I was kind of like
Yeah.
when people were like, "Yo, where's your dad?" I was like, "Ah, work." And a couple years ago, I was like, I didn't do it. I was like, it happened, but I don't care who knows now. So he might care. So I hope he's not listening. But
Did he tell you any wild stories about being
in
locked
jail?
up?
He told me this one story. So when he was first arrested, he was in maximum security because the crime technically was like, since he used a weapon.
It's a felony.
Oh wow, yeah.
So-
I know, but like at knife point.
So he was with like a bunch of like murderers and shit.
Yeah.
So fights used to happen, and he told me this one story of like this heavier set guy, and a fight broke out on the lunch line. And so when the fight breaks out, the prisoners have to go back into the cell. So this bigger guy was on the line when they called lockdown. So he just starts shoving like all the chicken into his shirt.
Wait, your dad?
No, this
the
bigger
big guy,
guy.
the big guy.
And he's running back to his cell with a
Yeah.
bunch of chicken. So like 3 days, like 2-3 days go by, and they let everybody back out again. And the guy walks out wearing the same stained
Mad chicken
shirt.
grease.
Yeah. So some stories like that, they were like, he just told stories about like the correctional officers, right? They would walk around and like, so these guys would try to steal anything.
Yeah.
Like the prisoners would steal like jelly packets and like salt. So the guards would just go around. So say like you would have a jelly packet here, right? They would just walk and they would go,
Hey, don't touch my pockets.
squirt. Oh my bad, bro.
I'm playing. Go ahead.
They would just like
No, fucking.
they would like squirt it and like ruin the fucking.
The prisoners.
Oh,
The
yeah.
guards would do that
The
shit?
guards would do that, yeah.
Just to be petty.
Yeah, just be petty. So a lot of crazy shit happened. The first thing I asked my dad when he got out was, I said, so like, do guys, have
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got your permission before. Go.
Yeah, so like I talked to him and he was like, it kind of like took him a second. He went like, what? do guys like fuck each other in prison?
It's not like it's not fuck each other. It's not like a romantic
No,
experience.
it could be.
It could be. You don't know. You don't know what they go through.
And he was like, nah. He's like, nah. So I was disappointed because like the way I see it.
He knew. They're not open about it. They're not like, I just smashed from Block E.
Yeah, bro. You know that redhead from the Sea Wing.
He's like Tyson got them tight cheeks. Let me tell you.
Yo, bro. That shit was crazy. Prison. Visits not fun, bro.
At least you knew about it. Some people just don't know where their pops is at.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna go for a wave flight. People like I know who didn't know their pops was locked up. They thought they were like out there trucking and shit.
On the road.
Yeah, like
on
the road doing these jobs. In reality, nah, he was locked up.
Your dad was.
No, my dad wasn't. I said I know people. My dad's clean cut dude.
Oh, you live with your dad?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I live with my dad too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So like he's still, he's around now.
Did your dad try to sneak like jelly packets in the house?
No.
Just sneak out the kitchen into the bedroom.
It'd be like just.
No, but like for the first month or two after he got out, like he was still in that like prison mentality shit.
Yeah.
So there would be time like I remember the first day he was back, he was like walking down the street, like we were in the car though, like we were in the car and then he got out and he started walking around and he was just like, oh my god, like what is this?
Yeah, he was locked up in 2009.
Yeah.
What, the world?
In the world.
The
world really changed.
But wait. So just being outside of prison or be like in your town?
Nah, see,
Being
like an
outside,
iPhone.
yeah.
Wait, so I thought they had like breaks where they get to fucking.
They get to go outside,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they're still in like a fence. Like you're still surrounded. Like
It's the same
You don't know what's
sky.
going on really unless
Yeah,
you're
but
watching on TV.
yeah, but when you go back to like the town you're from and you see all these different like high rises and like all this
Yeah.
gentrification.
Yeah, like,
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Imagine like
Back in your town, it's like
you're locked up right now, and then you come out 9 years later, and everybody you know is 9 years older. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
You kind of like start to lose track of how many years you've been in there.
Yeah, but like the thing is like.
I'm just trying to imagine.
Say something.
But like
No, I had nothing. I was just trying to.
But like now that I'm older, like and I look back on some of the shit that happened when I was like 7, like 8 and stuff like that, I can be like, oh, he was high. Like when and I talk about it like in my some of my set about like you know something's up because you know your parent isn't like all the other parents. So like he used to walk me to school when I was in 2nd grade, And when we would line up outside when it was nice out, like all the parents like go, I love you, like wave, blow kisses to the kids while you're online. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I'm looking around and I see my dad, and he's like fucking sleeping, standing up. He's like, and I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, is that your dad now? Nope.
Wow. My dad's doing this. He thought it was a game, so you go down and do it next to him.
Yeah, bro. So like, no, that shit, like that's real. And like I said, I used to like not talk about it, but shit, it's my life. So I learned that you can't shy away from your past or the shit that happened to you.
But it's not even your past though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
still happens.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's like not something that you have to regret or anything.
Yeah, no, I was a part of an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, he decided not to, wrap it up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then I got
shit.
brought into it.
Oh, shit. You said unfortunately?
Well, I don't know.
Because it's not his fault. He was in his dad knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then he still happened to have a kid. So that's kind of irresponsible on his part to have a kid while he knows he's still doing it out here doing this stuff.
Right.
But I think I wanted to he got for 5 to 6 robberies.
Yeah. He was facing like 30 years in prison if he went to trial.
My thing is, how do they know what's in? They connected the video footage?
They had a description of the car.
Oh.
And that was pretty much all they really had. And then
I'm like, yo,
when they searched
calling card.
And then when they searched he's a carpenter.
Yeah.
So like he had a bunch of like knives and box cutters.
Yeah.
So when they searched the car, they found a bunch of that stuff.
Mm.
And also like he would come home and be like, here's $300.
Oh shit.
Where'd you get it? He wouldn't tell us where he got shit, so like they knew. Like
I was thinking about the wet bandits from
Home Alone.
I was thinking
He just like
you
carried
probably
this.
a wet mop in every scene.
You leave the sink on.
Yeah.
It's a calling card.
That's what I thought he had. I was like,
I just leave a hammer everywhere I go.
Yeah. No.
Carpenter. Carpenter, Rob. Don't forget.
But the thing was, so he was cuffed on February 27th, but he officially wasn't arrested until March 1st, so 2 days later. So March 2nd, the Jersey Journal, front page, his picture.
oh, where?
Your dad's famous.
Oh,
That's fire.
I was like, I went to the prison, I had him sign it. No, I
didn't.
didn't. But no, like it was a front page news.
that's crazy.
So then and then you get to school and then the teachers are
dad's
extra
the
nice
guy.
to you. Like no, the teachers are like, because they know, like they don't want to say shit. Like they don't want to say, oh, I saw.
Yeah.
But like they're like, oh, how you doing? Like what? I'm okay. What?
Like, you didn't read the Jersey Journal today?
You know how I'm doing?
Yeah, my cousin was on that once. I was surprised to see that they put someone for like. My cousin was on it because of his story, like playing baseball and the brain tumor, and he passed away. So it was weird to see, like they'll put like someone committed a crime for like a crime like petty robbery.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was like a 7-Eleven.
he didn't murder nobody.
Yeah, no.
7-Elevens, that's pretty big. That's
Yeah.
a chain. That's a franchise. He only robs 7-Eleven.
No, there was a bunch of other small convenience stores.
Right. That was his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and he only got caught once then.
Got caught once, but they charged him for 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Damn.
Did he do all those?
I don't know. I don't.
Oh, okay.
But it's not something that you just bring up. Like you don't try to get.
I try. I asked him. I was like, yo, there was one time I was like, yo, what's the deal? So what do you mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's your fault then.
No, I was like, you know what I mean. He goes, no, I don't. I went, dude, come on.
These are things you gotta know.
No,
man.
I don't know, bro. There's
But
still some.
He was 9 years old.
What is this like? What is this like?
Yeah,
But no, he knows it. He knows it now.
What is
It's
it,
like I feel like at this point it's like, all right.
When did he get out?
To October of 2017.
Okay, so he got time to break the ice. The
Right.
9 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
you see him on and off.
He came
Oh,
out.
wait, so you don't live with him?
No, we live with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not in the halfway.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I
I think that's a valid
would.
question.
I'm just saying I would have a lot of questions.
Yeah, no. Well, I had that one about the guy's fucking.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but
I feel like if my dad was in jail, which he was, which I haven't had the chance to ask him about.
Here's the thing that
First question I'd be like, your dad. You got your ass fucked? That's all I want to know.
And then he would
kill me.
Nah, he would fight you. That's
He
fighting
would fight
words.
me. It
Those are fighting words.
It is fighting words.
If it happened, those are fighting words. If it didn't happen, you just be like, no.
Okay, and then I know. If he wants to fight,
If it
then I
happened.
know.
Yeah, but then.
So I'd be getting hit. I'd be like, so it did happen. Okay.
It get hard. And then he'll go to prison.
Again.
Beating on you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so that was just like a crazy time in my life. And that's when like the OCD really started to like show itself and stuff.
What's your tics?
So it changes. So like OCD can jump. For me, it started with like, it actually started when I was like very young and like stuff had to be like very like neat and in a good order. And then when I started getting older, like the 7th, 8th through high school, it was locks. So the obsession would be safety, right? I was obsessed with being safe, and then the compulsion would be checking the locks. So every time before I went to bed, I would check all the locks of the house. I would get in bed, close my eyes, be like, did I lock the doors? Get up, check again, get back in bed. Did I lock the doors? Get up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then, but now it's germs. The obsession is germs.
Yeah, I hate germs.
And so now the compulsion is hand washing. So if you could see all this red stuff, that's from washing my hands.
Oh, because you
Constantly.
do too much.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, I mean, what are the things for to fight it?
There's meds. There's medication. There's like exposure therapy, which would basically like.
Do you see a therapist?
Throw you to mad germs.
What? No. What is it? Yeah, no, I do see a therapist.
That's not bad.
I see a therapist.
I feel like everybody should get therapy.
I see a therapist. So, but like exposure therapy would be like for me, it would be like maybe shaking somebody's hand and then not washing.
Oh, that's
hands.
why you fist bumped me.
Yeah, that's why. And it's funny because
I thought that was like, I'm chilling with minorities right now. They love fist bumps.
No, it's a germ thing, bro. But it does get awkward because when I see people like they would go like this, and I'll just be like, and then there's always that awkward like 5 seconds where they're just like,
and you're just like, nah, the fist.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but so that's like pretty much the thing. I'm getting better, like with that shit, but it's still kind of tough,
I feel you, man. It's crazy because you're literally washing the skin off your hands.
Yeah, for real, bro.
And, because I know it could get to a point where it becomes detrimental to, because the lock thing, you're losing sleep, but you're not hurting.
It probably fucks with your immune system too, because if you're not exposing yourself to germs, and if you're cleaning germs as often as possible, then germs are more effective on you to give you, etc., more diseases.
Yeah.
But it's cool, bro. I mean.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. I'll figure it out.
Do you take a lot of showers in a day?
No, I usually take one a day. But
I feel like it's the same thing.
But I wait till night.
Yeah, you
to take a shower.
Yeah, where I same.
Yeah. Because I used to take my showers in the morning when I woke up.
Yeah, but then your bed's dirty.
Yeah, and then I'm out all day. I'm sitting in places where other people sat, and it's just like I need to take a shower at night now. There are some times where there's like two. Rarely there's 2 showers in a day.
If you have enough time, sometimes, but sometimes it's just not in the day's playing.
Yeah,
I understand.
Sometimes I like to get in there, sing.
In the summer,
I rap your music all the time.
He calls me J. Cole.
Shit.
I don't like.
Is he the one that's probably what it was.
What?
He's the reason you think you look like J. Cole.
No. I've been getting J. Cole since 4 Hills Drive. I started growing out my hair at the same time J. Cole did. So since 4 Hills Drive,
go for the dreads, bro.
My hair's too soft, bro. The new growth will look mad like white dreads.
That would be what sets you apart.
But now J. Cole is my favorite rapper, though.
He was mine until I realized that
you look like
oxymoron of his music.
Well, because the first Cole album I listened to straight through was For Your Eyes Only. So, and there's the line in the song For Your Eyes Only where he goes, "This song is dedicated to you and all the other children affected by the mass incarceration in this nation that sent your pops to prison when you needed education."
Oh, word.
So
he was like one of the 5 white guys.
I was like, yo,
that hits.
I was crying in my room.
The first one was Born Sinner.
Born Sinner?
And then he started like, oh, it's nice to be broke. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think being broke was better.
Yeah, like you sell tickets for $250. If you thought being broke was better, you would do $1 no dream every concert.
No, but there are times
you gotta make your bread though. That's the thing.
But he thought being broke was better.
there are times where Ryan like says some shit about J. Cole online, and I go, yo, bro.
That's a fact.
And I go,
That's
yo.
a fact. I'm in the same boat.
I DM him. He said something once. I think you said something on Twitter, and then I posted the Spider-Man meme.
I can't remember what I said. Oh, I said I'm the. I know which one you're talking about. I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
But, I know you put one up of J. Cole that said. Oh wait, no, it was like all. Oh wait, no, I think he just retweeted it. It was just like all the other rappers better than J. Cole, like 50 rappers better than J. Cole, and like Ariana Grande was like 47.
That was I retweeted that, but it's because like I just can't stand hypocrisy, and at a certain point the music just don't slap like that to me anymore. Like I still like it. I like the last album. I liked For Your Eyes Only, some of the songs.
What do you think of Middle Child?
I told you it was a school shooter song. That's what it was. He made the school shooter anthem.
Oh yeah,
They counted me out. I'm loading my clips. I'm counting the names or whatever. I'm putting bullets on what? It's a school shooter. It's a school shooter's like mom spaghetti.
Oh word.
That's what that was. He was like, I'm like, yo, this is if that was ever on my mind, this would be the song. Like
while you're getting ready to go to school.
No, it's like let's
counting
say,
my bullets. I'm
like you
my
just
clips.
got bullied and then you put that song on and you're like, damn, you know what I'm gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I want to know why the glasses is a prescription. Like there needs to be that thing.
No, those I can see.
So
those are some heavy set glasses.
So I have astigmatism, right?
Okay.
So basically, my right eye is perfectly fine. Like so, let's say eyes are shaped like baseballs, right? So my right eye is shaped like a baseball. My left eye is shaped like a football.
Oh, wow.
So
that's dope.
So when I was younger.
That's different. I think different is dope. Go ahead.
So when I was younger, I would have
Family Guy.
The muscle in my left eye is like extremely weak. So when I was younger, I would have to wear an eye patch over my right eye, because they were trying to train this muscle to like be strong, and it never fucking worked. So
this kid, his dad was in jail and he had an eye patch.
I had a tough life. I had a tough life growing up.
He was like, yo.
I was.
He's like, alright, we're gonna fuck.
Alright, you made it where the beaches at.
The beaches.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, no, it's a true story, bro. I had to wear
the beaches people.
Yeah. You have to do an Italian accent.
No, there's no Italian pirates.
Not a single one.
Yeah. No, man.
They come off the boat like, yo, get a load of this.
Hey,
where's all the booty, huh?
Are you sure you're Italian?
I am. No, I have family in Italy. I have family in Sicily.
You just said Mamma Mia.
That's Italian.
That's like the most stereotypical Italian thing.
Yeah, but it's okay for me to say it because I'm Italian. You know what I'm saying?
So if I say it's appropriate in your culture?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Exactly.
No, but I have family over in Italy, so I'm.
Have you seen them?
I've talked to them on the phone. I've never been over to Italy.
Do they speak English?
One does. One speaks English.
Oh, okay. Because I know those conversations are mad awkward.
Yeah.
I got family in Puerto Rico.
Oh, like trying to just understand.
So what had happened was, so my grandmother recently passed, right? So I was going through a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I found a bunch of like this old Italian stuff, and I was like, yo, this is cool. And I knew that my grandfather still had some cousins over there. So from that point on, I was on a mission to like find these people. So
like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, right?
Battles in jail, he had an eye patch, and now he's on a voyage.
So now I'm on a voyage in Italy. So I was able to get...
So it sounds like Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Now you just need ABBA, the soundtrack.
So it sounds exactly like that.
But, so somehow I got a phone number of somebody in Italy. So I just Google translated some shit, being like, hey, whatever it was. So I called the number, and the person answers, and they say pronto when you answer the phone, like ready, like I'm ready to speak.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't know that. So she goes pronto, and I go ciao, say Sylvia, Corsa, which is my cousin's name.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew this person had to speak English because she had spoken to my grandfather years ago, and my grandfather doesn't speak Italian.
Okay.
But this lady just starts rambling in Italian, and I go, no. Well, I was like, do you speak English? She goes, no. So I hang up the phone, and I go, what do I do? So my mom works with a guy who's from Italy. So I went to him, and it was like this whole fucking process where like they they knew who my cousin was, but they didn't like know her number. So, and Italy, everybody's like a 5-minute walk away. So they walked to my cousin's house and like told her, hey, you got somebody in America trying to call you. So she ended up calling me.
Yeah.
And it was really a cool experience, like finding people over in Italy.
Or without Ancestry.com. That's dope.
Yeah, without Ancestry.com.
Organic,
yeah.
You don't see that much often anymore, man.
Yeah.
I have not gone to Puerto Rico.
I don't know a single one of my. I've never met a Puerto Rican relative in my family.
Oh, only the white ones.
Only the white side. That's the only side. That's the only side.
What kind of white are you?
Only a white guy would ask that.
What kind of white are you?
What shade of you?
Yeah, I'm like a beigeish kind of.
Beige?
Yeah. Khaki.
Khaki?
I think it's French, British, Dutch,
okay.
English, and German. Yeah.
German?
Oh,
so
except
like
yours.
yeah.
Exactly. I wish I was Italian. I don't know why I wish I was Italian, but I wish I
Italians
was
are cool, bro.
Puerto Rican Italian mixes one I see a lot.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
No.
Why?
You're just Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah, just Puerto Rican.
Just Puerto Rican.
My dad is like his family's from his bloodline is the whiter side of the island, like mostly European, like Greek and Italian.
Okay.
See, but my mom's side is like the one that's more like the native side.
Okay.
The slaves, you see the slave ancestry in there.
Yeah.
Like in my great grandma and all of them, all her history throughout. So yeah. So
It's a very
Puerto Rican.
depressing podcast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, you brought, you still never explained why do both of them have to be that thick?
I don't know, bro. I don't question it, bro. They just give me the glasses and I go, alright, see you in a year.
You never tried to put on like that's
Contacts?
the look you want? Or contacts too, yeah.
This is the look I want because you saw The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, that's the first one.
So well before those movies I had like they were like oval glasses, like very thin. And I saw that movie and I was like, yo,
Oval.
Yeah, they were
like the Harry Potter.
not the Harry Potter.
Those are circles. Never mind.
Yeah, it was like very like that big. You know what I mean? Like glasses like that. You ever seen like old lady wear glasses?
The water bugs.
Yeah, they're like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was wearing those,
They have a name?
Yeah.
and then
Water bugs.
and then I saw The Amazing Spider-Man, and I saw that Andrew Garfield had these kind of glasses, and I went, I'm getting those. So I was like maybe like a 200-pound, 5-foot kid trying to be The Amazing Spider-Man.
So wait, how much do you weigh right now?
Right now I'm like 180.
Okay.
5'8".
That could have been your story, bro. Hey, you lost 20 pounds.
I lost 20 pounds. Yeah, well, I lost like 30 pounds, and then I gained like 40 pounds, and then I lost it again. So, but no, I'm on that too. I'm losing weight, bro. I'm trying
That's
to,
dope.
trying to get as skinny as this guy.
Yeah, I'm 140.
You're 140,
145.
but you're also like 4 inches taller than me. So.
Yeah, I'm 6'2".
Why you want to be as skinny? He's two-dimensional.
So you're 6 inches taller than me. You're half a foot taller than me.
Paper Mario over here.
Paper Mario?
Yeah.
You're gonna say Flat Stanley?
Who's that?
You never read those books?
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's a terrifying
No,
book
yeah.
about a kid who's like literally paper thin, so all the other kids mail him out and shit. And the wind
It
blows him
sounds
away.
familiar, but I don't think so. You wanna?
You wanna wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
Yeah, that's
We can wrap it up.
30 minutes almost.
Almost. We got 50 seconds.
Thank you for having me.
Word.
He was skeptical.
Yeah.
He's like,
You didn't think I was?
I don't know about the kid. The glass is a little thick.
Yeah. What?
My dad definitely didn't go to
Hey,
jail.
yo, put me
My dad went to jail.
That's true.
You didn't think my dad went to jail?
I didn't say any of the things he just said, but whatever.
I
I also think it's funny how you said thank you for having you, and it's been great having you today.
Yeah. Come back anytime.
Wait, my name is Tony,
I'm Matthew.
and
This is our podcast. Pause.
I said it was great having you.
No, you said it was great having me.
No, you didn't. You
Yeah.
fucked it up.
You said me?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
Oh, I didn't think
If you would like to
Well, it's
sponsor,
been amazing.
Yeah, listen, we're trying to get our money.
Real quick, can I say something real quick? It might be a
Okay, do
little
your
bit-
thing. Do your thing.
But
Give
like,
your shout-outs.
so no shout outs. Just serious note about OCD. It is kind of a serious thing, and people often like use it to like be like, oh, I'm neat. Like like those white girls who are like, I have 5 folders for my subjects. One's green, one blue.
Right.
I'm so OCD. It's not like that. It could seriously interfere. So if you do have OCD, just fucking see a therapist.
See, go get some help.